I was cleaning up the bins I have that I store all sorts of stuff in, and I went, you know what? I should make a quick video of my 2 remaining Apple collection bins. Although I used to have a very, very large Mac collection, topping out at around 55 different models many, many years ago. I eventually had to get rid of most of them when we moved from Canada to the US, just for space reasons. So I pruned the list down to like 10, and I think it's actually gotten smaller since then. I pretty much want to keep my 20th anniversary Mac and a couple others, but I did manage to save most of the non-computer based Apple collection stuff. This does not include my collection of Apple VHS tapes and developer discs, which I have a very large collection of. I'll make a video for those one day, seeing as it's always growing, and you know, it'll one day. It's gonna be a big project to do. Anyway, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to go through these bins real quick. We're not gonna spend too much time on each thing, but you know, I'll just talk about each thing very briefly. Many of these things will eventually get their own videos. Until then, this is you can think of this as kind of a preview. Starting off, we have these very cool Working Together for a Better World Apple Frisbees. I got these from my plumbing teacher, of all places, many, many years ago. I have no idea where he got these. He had a huge box of them. And it kind of became this joke that every time I helped him, you know, like disassemble other kids' projects, that kind of stuff, he'd just give me a couple more Frisbees. And it got to the point where I had like 10 of them. Unfortunately, my dog chewed many of them, and I only have 2 left. Sad. I have never seen these anywhere else. In fact, the only pictures of them I find when I look for them is my old website. So, yeah, very rare. I've tried selling them on eBay from time to time, but no one ever seems to buy them. I think they're just so rare that people don't even look for them, which is kind of annoying when you want to get rid of one, because I don't need 2. I've also got this original PowerBook 100 series bag. Nothing too special about this. It's just a laptop bag, but it's nice padded. An old Apple mug. I did have one of the cool rainbow ones, but I think my dad broke it? I can't remember. This is an original QuickTime conferencing ISDN kit, which is essentially a third-party ISDN card with, hey, original Apple phone, with a receiver and some software, and you'd plug it into your now completely obsolete ISDN line, and you can send conferencing video across the internet using the QuickTime conferencing kit, which, with its original price of $339 in 90s money, is a color video camera from Apple. Original eyesight. And yeah, it just outputs composite video, and it can be powered from certain S-video connectors on certain Macs, or just straight from a power outlet. It is pretty cool. It works really well. It's like 320 by 240 video at 30 frames per second. And, you know, you can record it with a VCR if you really want, or with my FireWire capture card, which of course will be part of the video that ends up becoming of this, because I would like to make a video and, you know, get some sample video out of this thing one day. I've also got, very heavy, my, box is breaking even more, my original Newton box, and this thing's heavy because I have like 5 Newtons in here, I think. So bear with me. Let's see. We've got 1 Newton with the original leather case. Some of these are this is the original, I think, and I've also got the 110, which looks identical. It just has a different ROM. I've also got lots of documentation for these guys. The like manuals for like the fax modem cards and stuff like that. All sorts of stuff. Ooh, meet the relatives. Let's see what accessories we can get for our Newton. Ooh, 2 megabytes of memory. Alright, looking forward to that. And we've got just holders for the accessories. Now in here, I actually have some very rare stuff. Well, this isn't too rare. This is the Getting Started card. This is a PCMCIA card, Type 1, which is very rare. See how thin it is? This came with your Newton, and it basically had like a little demo on it. A little fax modem with the X-Jack connectors, which doesn't work too well anymore, unfortunately. Another Getting Started card. Now these two ones are quite rare. This was marketed as the Apple Newton messaging card. However, it's clearly made by Motorola. And what this is a pager. And what was really cool is it has a battery in it. Like you can put a AAA battery inside it. And it would function, it's a little power switch, it would function on its own. You could have this on a table and it will still receive faxes, and it will blink that it's pages, and it will actually receive the pages. And you'd plug it into your Newton, or when you finally turn on your Newton, and you would receive them all as basically like you would think in a mail client. You would see them all similar to either just getting email or similar to how visual voicemail works on iOS. You just see them all and you can just scroll through them, copy and paste them, which is really cool. So you could get all these texts, and it would, or text, I keep saying text, pages, and you could, yeah, it actually functioned on its own. You just couldn't read anything off it because it has no display. And I remember getting this thing for like 50 bucks, and I was so happy. These things are quite rare. They're useless now, but quite rare. And this is the interactive point of sale demo. This is another PCMCIA card, like all the other things, but this has the demo that they would use at the store. And it, again, I'd like to make a video on this because it is quite rare. It does, you know, little demos of showing you how to use the Newton and stuff. This is the fax modem that Apple sold originally. You can either get a card with a jack on it, or this thing, which is absurd. You put 2 AA's in it, gives you a serial connector and a phone jack. It was pretty ridiculous. I don't know why they had to make this thing so big when they had PCMCIA cards, but whatever. There's a little adapter for Newtons that lets you put in AA's instead of the rechargeable battery packs. I actually have a charger in here. Yeah, I've got an original charger, the manuals, and yeah, dog. Aforementioned dog. And yeah, it's just a lithium-ion, or sorry, a NiCad battery pack. And there's a lot more manuals in here, and we've got, like, you know, bits and pieces, the big manuals, and we've got a few extra styli, whatever you want to call it, and the original Newton connection kit software. And it's funny because this box and this card both say, oh, you can get 2.0 for free if you mail in your registration card. Basically what they're saying is, yeah, we have it. Like, why the hell didn't they just give it to you? Oh well. Moving along, we have the Apple Personal Modem 300/1200, and this is basically a very old modem. It's kind of an interesting design. This is a very early example of an interchangeable plug to give you worldwide traveling abilities, where you can just take off the North American plug and put in whatever you need. But yeah, it's basically just a serial modem. Also have this Apple Macintosh SE Bus PC drive card. This is rare, but it's not really worth anything. This basically let your Macintosh SE use an Apple branded PC 5 1/4 inch floppy drive. Nothing too fancy, but it was kind of cool. And I've had it for a really long time. I don't even have an SE anymore. Got this cool original double-sided, not even 1.44 megabyte floppy drive box. Unfortunately, there's some writing on it. Always disappointed me. I always thought that was kind of cool. Got, oh, old floppy disks. Ooh. Symantec antivirus for Macintosh and Norton Utilities before it became crap. Oh, that's nice. And some drivers for G3 upgrades I no longer own. Also have Newton leather case, like a nicer one that unfolds. And I used to have a lot more Apple manuals, but I got rid of most of them. A lot of them were duplicates, so I just went and chucked them all into the recycling. But let's see what we've got in here. So for documentation and stuff, we've got, what is this? I think this is an iMac poster. Yeah, very old, stained iMac poster. Fortunately, they folded it, so what good is it? And I got it, and I think it rained or something on it. That's why it's got weird stains on it. Manual for another hardware device. Oh, an old iTunes card for some reason. This is actually a fairly rare shirt. I will do a video on this one day. I don't want to take it out and get it all covered in cat fur right now. But this is basically an old shirt that had a list of all the things that Windows 95 copied from macOS, things that were already part of it, and it's just a very cool shirt. And it's really an Apple shirt, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like directly insulting another company. It's just a copy of Business Week when Steve Jobs passed away. I think this has like little odds and ends from Apple stores and whatnot, and I think some of my really old ads. I actually have some of the very, very old Apple ads. These are not old. Yeah, these are all just kind of recent ones. This is an older one, a PowerBook ad showing the differences between a Mac and a PC laptop. One of the old Macintosh 2 ads. I really like the old Apple ads. Oh, it's for a newer 9500, 7500, and 8500 series. And this is one of the very first Apple ads, by the way. This one has the original Mac in it. Or sorry, I should say this is one of the original Macintosh ads. And we've got little demos of all the amazing things such as cutting and pasting. Believe it or not, that was a feature at the time. And of course, a very young Bill Gates. And yeah, I like this one. This is a very, very old one. I got this out of Scientific American, I think. Long, long time ago. And this is just like an Apple III manual. This is an interesting book from Apple. And it's all about multimedia, and it is actually produced by them. And it just talks about like everything from like CD-ROM drives to, you know, page layout, all sorts of stuff. It's kind of a neat book. I've never really seen that anywhere else. And we've got just old Apple plates and stuff. Old system discs. Aw, these are just blank discs I was keeping in there to keep this thing from getting crushed. That's disappointing. Unless I really need a copy of WordPerfect. Yeah, it just has the same thing in it. But yeah, they're just, I don't really need 2 of these. Sorry, I'm getting distracted trying to clean this out. Anyway, yeah, I like Apple IIe manuals, some development stuff. Ooh, development tools and languages. This is actually kind of a cool book because it's got like old development platforms that are thousands and thousands of dollars. Oh look, Symbolics Mac Ivory, only $16,000 to $40,000. What a deal. And another Apple ad. These are all just promotional things from Apple. Why Macintosh? HyperCard manuals and old Apple stickers. MacWrite serial card manual from the Apple IIs. More Apple II stuff. I actually don't have an Apple II anymore. This is a book I got. I believe this came free with something I purchased on eBay. And it has like a history of the early computers, and it's actually quite interesting. I do like this book. Stan Witt's History of the Personal Computer. Very cool. I like this one. I've gone through most of this book, and it talks about like older stuff like the Altair and things like that. And that is the end of the first bin. Inside the other one, we have the Apple QuickDraw 3D Accelerator card, which is a PCI card that is kind of interesting because it gives you 3D acceleration, but it has no video connector. You put it in a PCI slot, and it accelerates other video cards in the system. Very cool, and I will make a video of that one day because it is pretty impressive, the change it makes. Had a whole bunch of Apple stickers in here too, but they're just the newer ones. Nothing too interesting. I have a beat up 17-inch MacBook Pro, or sorry, 17-inch PowerBook G4, which I will probably just do a teardown and throw away since it's so beat up. I have one of my most prized possessions, my rather dirty Apple Tech Step. This is a service technician's diagnostic tool. You plug this into your Mac using this long umbilical cord with all the connectors, and this can do a series of tests on the computer. It's very, very cool. They're quite rare. They use these cartridges that have the ROM, a little EEPROM, or probably just a regular ROM chip with you know, set of tests for a specific computer. And the problem with this thing is it only works on specific hardware. And it turned out when I cleared out all my Macs, I had cleared out all the ones that it could run on. So I had to go and purchase a Macintosh 2 SI for the Tech Step. The 2 SI is in a teardown in another video. And this will eventually show up in a video one day. I also have the Apple MPEG multimedia system. This is a decompression card for MPEG video, back when your system couldn't do it on its own. It's a couple DSPs that handle all the decoding. And in here I've just got a bunch of odds and ends, with just little pamphlets and stuff from over the years. Nothing too interesting in here. Oh, Apple personal computer systems. Oh, very old Apple 2 and 3 systems. What else we got? Just more ads, developer stuff, genuine Apple memory. Let's see if this will focus on this thing. It's actually branded Apple. Bizarre. They don't put their own memory in anything now. And there's just, yeah, it's just developer stuff, a couple pens. See, this one's broken. These pens were terrible, these silver ones. I should just throw this away, actually. Purple pen, developer connection pin, and old iTunes cards and stuff. And I have a collection of some of the different designs of Apple logo stickers from over the years. Color, different sizes. These ones are quite large compared to the others. Just some odds and ends now, just Apple keyboards, the horrendous Apple GeoPort adapter, which is basically a Win modem. If you don't know what a Win modem is, a Win modem is a modem that's essentially all doing everything in the CPU. And that's basically what this thing did. And it was terrible. And what else we got in here? Couple more Newtons, because why not? There's a message pad 120, and this is the 110. Videos will come for these one day. I'll probably do like an all-in-one Newton video. I also have an Apple Newton eMate, which is a larger model. Got one of Apple's original, well, the original camera from Apple, the Apple QuickTake 100, which is a Kodak designed camera, and it's terrible, but at the time it was pretty cool. And yeah, it just connects as a serial device. And what I liked about this thing is it shows up as a hard drive, which believe me, took a really long time for cameras to start doing. And we've got some other stuff like an old floppy drive for an Apple II with Ultima 5 and keyboards, mice, the also terrible Apple adjustable keyboard. It kind of adjusts. God, this thing is dirty. Anyway, yeah, this thing's terrible. No one used it because it was just ridiculously uncomfortable. This is the little side module. I mean, look how big this thing is. This gives you the numpad and the function keys. And that's pretty much it. There's just like mice and stuff left in the bin. One day a lot of these things will get videos, but not today, unfortunately. Just cleaning up. Moving along, we have the Apple Personal Modem 300. Oh God, styrofoam.